Senator Craughwell.
Thank you very much, Chair. Minister, thank you for being here today. Minister, at the outset, I want to compliment you for taking on board the issue of cyber security, but I believe that we need to start taking this from a much more macro perspective. We should compliment the Gardaí for reversing the, or at least some of the damage that was done with the HSE. But Minister, I want to put to you, a few moments ago you said money was a bit of a red herring. I'm absolutely appalled to hear you say that. I see Malta is scheduled to spend 1.9 billion on cyber security over the next 6 years. That's Malta, one of the smallest countries in the EU. So to say that it's a red herring, I'm afraid it really doesn't go down well with me. I want to compliment the Chairman and my colleagues for agreeing to bring in a human resource expert here, because the money that you were offering for the Director of Cyber Security that your department was offering was a joke. No serious professional would come anywhere near this country, which suggests to me that security, and I've said this many times, security in this country, whether it's cyber security or internal security or external attacks, it's a joke. We don't take it seriously. Now, you're trying to change that, but Minister, if you're going to change that, you're going to have to see a budget that will support it. 13.8 million between 2017 and 2021 on cyber security. Where are we going? At the end of the day, it's a joke. Now, as we move forward, we need, and I've said this 100 times, we need an integrated intelligence agency under a Director of Intelligence that would bring together all of the different intelligence gathering agencies of the state. That includes Gardaí, Defence Forces, Department of Social Protection, Department of Communication. We need them all under one umbrella where they're sharing information and that we need to know what's happening. We take issues like cyber security with a grain of salt. We had, in the last few weeks, word of a minister's phone being hacked. And it just sort of breezes past everybody, and church was nothing really to get too excited about. Are your phones, Minister, and maybe you can't answer this today, but are your phones protected properly? Do you have encrypted telephones? And if you don't, we should have encrypted telephones. We are a central location for foreign direct investment, and we control some of the largest volumes of data in Europe. And we're talking about 30 people in cybersecurity. There should be hundreds in cybersecurity, working in cybersecurity. When you look at the United States with almost 1 million people working in cybersecurity, when you look at Estonia, which we would be looking down our nose at a few years ago as a much poorer country than Ireland, and their reputation in cybersecurity. We spoke, my colleague, Deputy O'Murrachu, spoke about the issue of Defence Forces, spoke about the issue of legislation. We see last night on the TV how the Graham Dwyer case may limit the capacity of the Gardaí to actually get involved in counter-espionage or counter-intelligence, if you want. That is outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous that that might happen. We see that we have ships sailing up and down the Atlantic coast, coming very close to the 12-mile limit, where they are capable of intercepting data that is travelling from the United States into Ireland. Now, look, there are 3.5 million positions open in the world in cybersecurity. With 3.5 million positions open, Ireland is going to have to compete. And to compete, we're going to have to put billions into cybersecurity. We will not have foreign direct investment here in a few years' time if we start seeing cybersecurity attacks. Since, I can't understand it, but I have my own beliefs on it. Since we all started to register for the pandemic and COVID on our mobile phones, we're inundated with attacks from all sorts of crazy. I get a dozen phone calls a week from the Department of Social Protection. I no longer answer them. I won't answer any number now where I don't recognise the caller because I'm sick to the teeth of it. But Minister, I want to ask you, you're going to be going in front of Minister McGrath and the Cabinet in the next few days. Do they fully understand the impact on foreign direct investment if they don't invest in cybersecurity? there's clearly a lack of understanding of what's required. And in fairness to you, Minister, after you saw the HR expert Blonnet Carolyn here talk about a salary structure of 220,000, you clearly fought the battle and got as close to that figure as you possibly could, and hopefully we will get somebody really good into it. The problem we have with 3.5 million vacancies in the world, are we going to become a training centre for people who are paid poor money, who will move to higher paying economies as soon as they're trained? I am really concerned about this, and I know this committee has taken a huge amount of time to debate these things, and I thank the chairman for it, and I thank you for being here. But Minister, is cybersecurity and security in general a joke? Would you agree with me that we need a director of intelligence and that we need one single intelligence agency? I'm shocked to hear that we have only one Defence Force member in the National Cybersecurity Centre. It should be run by the military, like most cybersecurity organisations in the world. So I'll throw that over to you, Minister, and might come back with one or two supplementaries. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Craughwell. I'll just start by saying I'm not aware of any cybersecurity centre in the world that's run by the military, and ours is not run by the military, although it does have military assistance, and which is very valuable as input. The salary. I think we're to talk about the director, and is there enough money to pay the person? The director who is to be appointed on a salary of €184,000, that job is not directly equivalent to a chief information security officer working for a big tech company. It's a different job because it has different responsibilities. It will have a different day-to-day working, and they're not directly equivalent. There are different benefits to that job, and there are different responsibilities. There's a lot of diplomacy, organisational skills.
Minister, just on that point,
sure.
Will you bring in experts in recruiting for people in cybersecurity to assist in the recruitment process? Because it's such a specialised post. Not in any way, Public Accounts Commission does its work well, but on this particular one, will you be bringing expertise in terms of the recruitment process?
Thank you for adding that in, Chairman.
Yeah, in short, we will bring in experts in that, and that was the plan. We will bring in experts to this process, and the board itself also has expertise, but we will bring in external experts to that area. Can I go back to answering Senator Craughwell's question?
Yes, yeah? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So Senator Craughwell mentioned the idea that we should have some kind of overall head of all the different parts of cyber security, cyber defence across the different branches of the government, military, police, and so on, and some kind of coordinating role. And in fact, we do have that. It's called the National Security Analysis Centre, and it's based in the department of the Taoiseach. So let's see what else we have here. Senator Craughwell asked if my phone is encrypted. It is encrypted, and I think that is a basic security measure to make sure that phones are encrypted, so that if they're stolen, that the data can be taken off.
Can I just interrupt you there? In that case, Minister, if phones are encrypted, cabinet members' phones are encrypted, and we've had one hacked, does that not create a massive national security question? We're talking here about the HSE for the last half an hour or thereabouts, and the impact that has had. If you can hack a cabinet minister's phone, just think off the top of your head the number of people's telephone numbers you'd have, not just nationally but internationally, the text messages that would be exchanged between cabinet members, the text messages that would be exchanged between ministers across the EU. I find it absolutely beyond belief that we've had a minister's phone hacked and that absolutely nobody seems to mind about it. Sure, this is grand, 'tis all fine. I just can't. We take security as a joke in this country.
So, Senator Craughwell, in terms of the security incident with Minister Coveney's phone, his phone was encrypted. The security incident was reported to the National Cyber Security Centre. I can assure you they took it extremely seriously as a matter of national security, because he is the Minister for Foreign Affairs. So there's absolutely in no regard was this treated as a trivial matter. All the correct statutory things were done to respond to that incident. I think that's really all I have to say about that. I think. I'll move on then to the question about the Graham Dwyer case and the implications for the legal implications for intelligence gathering or for rules about.
Minister,
sorry,
just be careful about any live legal case. Just in terms of your comments, just by way of observation. Okay.
Thank you for the reminder, Chair. So just to say about that in fact what I was going to say, Chair, was that is a live case, and that the case has not yet been decided, and the implications of it are unknown as yet. I can tell you that scenario planning is of course done, but it's a live case and I can't comment on it, and I don't know how it is going to turn out. Is the reality.
Yeah, in fairness, Minister, I wasn't asking you to comment on the Dwyer case. It was the concept that when we're talking about security, you'll know this. For example, in the development of antivirus software, we are always chasing the criminal.
In the interest of consistency, I'll also ask you to be guided that it is a live legal case.
No, and I wasn't going to go there, Chairman. But we're always chasing the criminal when it comes to virus software. We're always chasing the criminal when it comes to any sort of criminal behaviour. Just as we're chasing hardware when we're trying to develop the latest software. So these are serious issues, and things like ethical hacking and things like that need to be proactive in the country if we're to be sure and safe. And that would apply to the schools my former colleague Deputy Craughwell was talking about. There should be in the college I worked in Blackrock, and I know you know the place well. We spent anything up to 100,000 a year on computer hardware, antivirus software, cyber security systems. I know every school wouldn't have that advantage. By the way, mine was a VEC school, not a private school. So from that point of view, look, I've taken enough time.
No, it's just, Minister, if you have concluding remarks for Senator Craughwell's questions, you might deal with
certainly.
those just now. Yeah.
I mean, one of the questions that Senator Craughwell asked was whether the Cabinet understood the seriousness of cybersecurity with reference to FDI. And, this is an issue that they do. This is an issue that the American Chamber of Commerce and that other lobby groups for multinationals bring up, is that they want to have a secure environment in which to locate their data and do business. And so that's completely understood. So, in general, I wanted to say, I think the gist of what Senator Craughwell is saying is that he is concerned that cybersecurity is not being taken seriously, that there aren't adequate resources being given to it, and that it isn't understood within government how important it is. And I'd like to reassure him that none of that is true. That everybody understands how incredibly important it is to protect our national assets and our critical infrastructure, and that there are huge costs to being attacked, and that we have to do everything we need to do to have the best in class of cybersecurity protection.
Minister Smith,